TBC alert.
Smite. You've been enlisted into a top-secret live stream called Pull the Ultra Trigger, a weekly live watch and review featuring Raph and Shoma and Kaiju Noir. So strap yourself in to a brightly colored, nitro-filled funny jet. It's time to pull the Ultra Trigger. Trigger.
I made that with the bitmap on the Wendy's.
I hope they don't hit each other too hard. Smite it.
Oh yeah, Mr. Red.
And I'm searching for my knight in shining armor. No way.
Way. No, thank you. Are you being sarcastic or sincere or a little bit both?
Smite it.
Hi everybody, welcome to tonight's episode of Pull the Ultra Trigger, and we have a rather special 2 weeks ahead of us. For this week, it's the beginning of a two-parter. In fact, we're double featuring our two-parters. I'll explain once we get Mr. Kaiju Noir into the chat. Unfortunately, Mr. Kaiju Noir is running a little late, but that's okay. I'm here to entertain all of you. Forgive the weird windy noise in the background. That is all the fans in my room. I have 18 of them directly pointed at my face. Oh, I forgot to turn one more on. Hold on. Okay, excellent. That's perfect. Now, anyways, as you can see, we're going to do this whole live stream with just nothing but fans on. Hopefully, nothing weird will go wrong. Oh no, I'm flying. The wind has caught my oversized shirt. Despite my large girth, I'm floating away. Guys, I'm sorry. This was a fun time. Oh God, now I know how Ed Wynn felt in Mary Poppins. Oh God. Wait. Okay. I turned off one of the fans. I'm back to the ground. Everything's cool. I'm all right. So anyways, while we wait for Kaiju Noir, you guys are more than welcome to ask me any questions you want. We'll give them a good 15 to 20 minutes, and then we're gonna start our little double feature proper, with or without him. So anyways, let's see who we have in the chat. We have, let me, oh yeah, I forgot, I got two screens here. We got Toku Punk Productions. We have, hey, how you doing, buddy? We have Warrior King, Forever. He says, alone with ENSHOHMA for 20 minutes. No! We have Zyza Draws. Awesome to see you again, good sir. And it says, finally got a chance to join again. Woo! I hate to inform you, Zyza Draws. We have no... Woo, the giant supernatural Yeti guardian of wayward, misunderstand teenage girl outcasts will not be appearing in tonight's episode. So I don't know why you decided just to mention that. I'm joking, of course. Only an Ultraman fan would get that. And we have Toku Punk Productions again. He says, it's time! With 4 exclamation points. All right. Oh, yeah. And Goji Shea, 1991. He says, Dirty McCorruption's funky theme music I see again. Yes. What else do we have? Doomzilla says, awkwardly enough, Rip and Tear, Doomzilla is here. Oh, my goodness. You should get slightly bigger pants, my friend. But you are Doomzilla, so even... no, never mind. I was going to say your wardrobe malfunctions are part of your doom, but that made no sense. Okay. Warrior King says, bye, ENSHOHMA. Can we divide up your kaiju collection amongst ourselves? Be disappointed. It's mostly DVD-Rs of various monster movies no one cares about. So, Goji Shea says, when did you plan on doing the Rankin Bass Hobbit live watch again, Raph? Okay, so that's going to happen in late November. Me, Win, Andres... and possibly Brayton, although we'll see about what happens with Brayton. We are doing a live watch of the Rankin Bass 1978 version of The Hobbit, but that's in late November, probably like the 26th, the 27th, sometime around there. Just a little after Thanksgiving, but we'll confirm everything in future videos. That's still roughly 2 months away. We have big Halloween plans tonight. Oh, and we just got Mr. Andres Perez has joined us. I'm going to do something we usually don't do here on Pull the Ultra Trigger. I'm going to play his wonderful theme music. So let's go. Here we go.
This powerful alive robot man.
You know them robos.
I'm in love with a robot man.
Robot man.
A very special robot man.
Really?
I switch him on each night and day.
Yay!
It's such a thrill to hear him say.
You can check out my indie
comic
comic,
series,
Primal
Primal
Warrior,
Warriors,
available on Amazon. You can get it on Anthology,
available on Kindle, Comixology, and Staple Valve.
Okay, there you go. Now you're here. The show is complete, Mr. Kaiju Noir. Hello? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Hold on, I can't hear you. Okay, we got technical issues. Oh darn, I hate it when technical issues happen. Oh no, I do have a song for that. But anyways, while we wait for Mr. Kaiju Noir, let's see what we got going on in the chat section. Yes, so again, the Rankin Bass thing will be happening a little later little later in November. We got other plans, wait until then. Okay, Tokupunk Production says tonight will truly show how Virgin Trigger is compared to Tiga with the Dark Ultra episodes. Okay. Goji Shay says, okay, yeah, that's right. You guys are doing a Mad Monster Party watch this month. Yeah, that's later this month. Okay, we got Tokupunk Productions thoughts on the Gokaiger 10th anniversary. We'll get to that later. I have not seen that actually.
I noticed that Word King Forever said, "Oh, thank God Andres is here. Where were you, man? How can you leave us unsupervised with Enshoma for so long?" Well, Raph, I just came back from one of my world-famous showers, and I come back to find you doing a stream unsupervised. How dare you, Raph?
I'm so sorry, Andres.
Don't you know that you need to cater to my schedule?
Oh man, I feel so bad.
Don't you know how important my world famous showers are for me?
Right, and but you need to feel bad because you scheduled your world famous showers around the same time as Kaiju Jim's famous dishwashing live streams.
To my fucking whims.
No, you listen to me, Mini Matt Burkett. I'm not giving up the show for nothing.
Matt Burkett, who do you think I'm fucking quoting here?
You know, for the first time ever, I don't think Matt Burkett is having. Monstrosities is having a live stream happen the same time we're doing a live stream.
Good, so you won't bother him with your bullshit.
No, I don't know what happens. You know what they say? Great minds think alike.
I know what happens. You get fucking salty.
I do, but it's coming from a place of hatred and disposal.
That's bad, Raph.
Oh, I didn't mean to say hatred and despising. I meant love. Yeah. Okay, so
no, Raph.
If I knew you were gonna be this spicy, my little Hispanic teapot.
Who the fuck do you think I take over? I learned from you, Raph. I learned from watching you.
Nick Fitkin says, "Mommy and Daddy are fighting again." Damn right. Oh my goodness. So nobody does fan art of that, please. Oh my god. I know I'm going to be wearing aprons. Anyway, so Mr. Kaiju Noir, how are you doing on this Monstrosities After Dark free night?
Well, other than being rudely left out of the introduction to the stream, I'd say I've been doing pretty dang good.
Oh, don't worry, you're still going to read tonight's commentary.
Fuck. Is it more creepy sex pervert shit?
Maybe. No. It's just usual. Raph and Shoma thought it was funny, but it just comes out weird.
So the usual creepy sex pervert shit.
Sure, why not? Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to add that to queue. Hold on. Close player. Yeah, let me open it and post it for you so it's easier unless you already have it open on your end.
The introduction to the description in the stream in front of me, because that's the only way I can read the goddamn chat, because you refuse to incorporate StreamYard into this thing.
Oh, wait, I just posted it. There you go.
Well, too late, Raph.
Oh, damn it.
It was for nothing.
Okay, read on, boy.
Remember that time you got into a freak unicycle accident and fell into a 14-year coma, but eventually awoke and returned to a fairly normal life with your loved ones with selective amnesia until one day a dark specter from your forgotten past literally manifests itself into an evil shadow version of yourself that threatens not only your modern happiness, but the universe at the infinitely large? Yup, it's one of those days for our poor Kengo. Also, flippin' land sharks!
So because this week's episode of Ultraman Trigger is the first part of a two-parter, and you asked for this, Mr. Andres, we're going to actually do a double feature two-parters. Now, originally, we were just going to do the second part of the original Evil Tiga story arc from Ultraman Tiga, but since we are lucky enough to have a two-parter, we're going to start with the episode the first part of the Evil Tiga saga, which, of course, features Geozark. And it's not Geoshark, unfortunately. It's one of those wacky Japanese names conventions. So it's Geozark. But yeah, anyways, I'm glad you're here, because for a moment there I was almost going to fly away into the atmosphere thanks to the 19 fans I have on me right now. So...
Anyways,
okay,
yes,
fine.
I am actually looking very forward to this double feature and next week's double feature, essentially doing Evil Tiga Part 1, Dark Trigger Part 1, and then next week, Evil Tiga Part 2, Dark Trigger Part 2.
Indeed.
And I guess it should be noticed, it should be explained to newcomers to Ultraman that Evil Ultraman has been sort of a tradition in a lot of the Ultraman shows throughout the decades, essentially starting with the original series in which an alien disguised himself as an evil-looking version of the original Ultraman. We have since had evil doppelgangers, whether they be aliens in disguise, mechanical copycats akin to like Mechagodzilla, or just an evil entity that copies the abilities and appearance of the series' Ultraman. So, evil doppelganger Ultraman take form in a variety of different ways, and so what we have here with Ultraman Trigger is sort of a callback to both Evil Tiga as well as the Ultraman Tiga movie, which regaled us with Ultraman Tiga's backstory as a former villain. So here it seems from what Raph is describing, it seems like they're kind of combining the concepts of Evil Tiga and Dark Tiga to create this new incarnation of Trigger. And yes, Brayden, while it is a bunch of adjectives and made up words, I'm essentially saying this is actually a thing that is classic in a lot of cases in fiction. You know, the evil doppelganger.
Yeah, or mirror antagonists as the
evil
term.
Doppelganger, Raph.
Okay,
and so
fine,
this is something that is common in a lot of fiction, and Ultraman is no stranger to evil copycats.
Yes. With that said, though, we should give Ultraman Tiga credit for kind of introducing, or at least solidifying, the idea of an actual honest-to-goodness evil Ultraman. Even though an Ultraman who's turned evil, even knowing that, as we'll see in the two-parter in the week ahead, it was kind of done against Evil Tiga's free will. We'll get into that later. But
although you could say that Carmilla and her cronies, they are evil Ultramen themselves, if we are to believe that they are the same species as Tiga/Trigger.
That is true. From what I understand, and again, let's just face the fact that when Ultraman Tiga was made, it was kind of made in the rush, so they didn't exactly hammered out the backstory while they were filming. That's what the final movie, long after the series was for.
So, like, the movie, what you're saying is the Tiga movie was like a redo of a concept that wasn't fully explored in the TV series.
Yes. The movie clarified a lot of things, whereas in the TV series, originally, Two Bright Productions really wanted to do Ultraman Neos as their big series for 1996. But the network says, no, we want something fresh and new, so they kind of haphazardly put together Ultraman Tiga. And while the series had a solid, format, as far as like the extended backstory and the bigger picture, like a lot of Japanese productions made relatively on the rush, they didn't really think too much about it. So it was only until we got to Ultraman Tiga: The Final Odyssey did we have like a clear idea what the hell was going on in the ancient past. Or as well as the last couple episodes, it kind of touched upon what the heck happened. But yeah, it's kind of something you see a lot in Japanese fiction, where it's just kind of a vague backstory just for character interaction to happen. So thankfully, unlike whatever the hell's going on with that Kamen Rider Decade series, they actually went back and clarified things towards the end, instead of like cheekily leaving it up in the open for us to decide what the hell's going on. With that said, though. Yeah, from what I understand, in Ultraman Tiga, there was a race of ancient giants who, that we kind of see it with the stone giants in the first episode, but the dark giants, which Camilla and her group were a part of. But Tiga was the first real Ultraman of that world because he merged with the light, as well as kind of becoming more and more close with humanity and became the silver hero we know about. So you could say the Dark Giants are sort of pseudo or proto-Ultraman, or at least what Ultramen are supposed to be in that version of the universe, or continuity. So, but of course that would lead to like real antagonistic Ultraman Agu and Ultraman Guy, who of course ended up becoming a good guy. But then later you would also get like real Ultramen who go to the dark side, like Ultraman Belial and Ultraman Trigear from Ultraman Taiga. So... although I will say this, we kind of had evil Ultraman in the animated Ultraman series from 1979, Ultraman Jonas I'll just refer to from this point on. But in that series, they made it in such a way that if you went to the dark side, you lose your Ultra powers. So yeah, we had antagonistic U-40 humanoids, but they could never turn into evil Ultramen, unfortunately. So, blah 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 nerd stuff. So... Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, so just to go over the comments, in addition to Nick Fitkin, there was also Zyza Draw screaming, "Mom, Dad, please stop fighting," and Doomzilla saying, "The parents are fighting again." So yes, nobody likes it when we fight, Kaiju Noir. But before we
and whose fault is that? Good
yours. You has been.
Sure thing, Raph. You can continue living in your delusional fantasies.
Damn right, with my live streamings of my world-famous bubble baths. Everyone's doing it. So, by the way, Brayton has started his own...
It's fun to do!
Yeah! In fact,
That's a Cool Cat reference.
Yeah, in fact, as we speak, both me and Andres are in a Sakuji doing this live stream, so... You can hear the bubbles right now. That's just me holding a fan up to the microphone. So... Okay, so before we begin, Brandon Phil mentions the most famous. I like the evil doppelganger from My Dream of Jeannie. It's so sad I actually know that episode. Barely. Anyways, so anything you want to plug before we start tonight's episode?
Do I?
Oh no!
If you don't know, I happen to have my indie comic book series, Primal Warrior Draco Azul, issues 1 and 2 available on Amazon, Kindle, and Comixology, physical and digital copies as well as my novel-length anthology book, Primal Warrior Draco Azul, Full Metal Chronicles, containing 6 short stories written by yours truly, and look forward to my upcoming Draco Azul novel, Draco Azul Soulless Blood, co-written by me and Ace Maroke, and edited by my friend Matt Denian, with help from my beta readers, Laura and Nick Fitkin. Awesome. And if you want to keep up to date with any and all things related to Draco Azul, follow me on Twitter at PW_Draco Azul, as well as on Instagram at Kaiju Noir, YouTube at Kaiju Noir, and Facebook at Primal Warrior Draco Azul.
Awesome. And also I got a little bit of plugs myself, and one question we will go over before we begin. I got my own I recently started my own Twitter, and after dealing with the horrors of security questions over and over again, I think I'm going to stick to it. So it's in many of Kaiju Noir's links he just mentioned are in the description right now, as well as many of my own links, including the recently opened Twitter and the recently reactivated Patreon. You can also check out my DeviantArt website, my official Facebook group, which should be open to the public regardless if you have Facebook or not, and my official blog, where I recently did a mini article about a semi-bootleg version of King Caesar named Bara Zogan, which I had a lot of help from Mr. Kaiju Noir here translating the name. Also, a big shout out to my brother Gabriel, better known as Jake Tanaka in the Glue podcast, who started his own comedy podcast with some friends called Time Mule. And you can check that in the description as well. Now, there is a really good question from Warrior King that we will definitely, I think we should answer before we get to tonight's episode. Question for both Raph and Andres. Who is your favorite evil Ultra of all?
I'm not sure, honestly. I haven't watched enough Evil Ultraman to really make my decision on that. I want to say Dark Clop Zero is probably high up there, at least in terms of his first appearance. I know he's kind of been relegated to being like a mere lackey in later appearances, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen enough of them to fully commit to an answer on that. Sorry.
Okay, that's more than okay, my friend. I actually have 3 answers. The Liquid Metal Warriors from Ultraman Gaia, they were technically liquid metal warrior monsters, but they could assume the form of fake Ultramen. And you kind of saw it with the first Apathy, where the more he fought Ultraman Tiga, the more he was starting to look like Ultraman Tiga. And then it went further with Milos and Agulas. But yeah, I really did enjoy that subgroup of monsters. Ultraman Belial, even knowing I don't want to call him overrated, but he's definitely overexposed. I think he had a really good mythology and a very developed character as an Ultraman who was always kind of an aggressive jerk, but when he went over the dark side, he went over the dark side big time. And of course, he's the lead antagonist of one of my all-time favorite Toku movies, Ultraman Zero: The Revenge of Belial, which I highly recommend if you guys can check it out. Basically, Star Wars meets the extended universe of Tuburai Productions, and it's a lot of fun for what it is. And I think the last evil Ultraman I'll give a shout out to, just because of how simplistic but cool he is Ultraman Shadow from the second Ultraman Z-Earth movie. It's really not a major character to write home about. It's just basically a giant robot doppelganger, but he's very cool looking, and he has some really cool powers in turn. So I think those 3 would be my, roughly 5, those would be my favorite evil Ultraman. So... Okay, so Mr. Andres, I actually sent you the file directly for the for episode 43 of Ultraman Tiga. Do you have it ready to watch?
Nope. No, I'm just kidding. Yes,
okay.
I do.
Okay, thank you. So it's like, yeah, you're supposed to be the more professional one, Father. Okay, so, and yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, you will find a link for Ultraman Tiga episode 43 in the description. This was the only readily available version on YouTube, so forgive the somewhat crappy quality. That's one of the reasons I decided to email it directly to Mr. Andres, so we can avoid more shaky glitches than there already is in the video. But for the most part, it should play okay. So, are you ready, Mr. Kaiju Noir?
Yes.
Okay. Now, before we start watching the episode featuring Geosark and the first of Evil Tiga's evil plans, any memories about this, or we'll share it after or during the thing?
I don't have any memories.
Oh, damn it. Selective amnesia, not again. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all open because we're about to start. So, in 3, 2, 1, play.
It's kind of interesting that we're starting off our very first time watching Ultraman Tiga with episode 43. Well, that's technically not true. We did watch 3 of the 4Kids dubbed episodes.
That is.
So this is technically not our first time watching Tiga on Pull the Ultra Trigger.
Yeah. Although with that says, we've been doing something. I'm really happy with the work we've been doing lately. Yeah, this is a fun, wacky show. But the fact that we're actually pairing up old Ultraman episodes from various series that kind of matches with this week's newer episodes. These were the only ones that kind of matched perfectly. And when I found out it was a 2-parter, it's like, hey, huzzah! So. And you know what's great about watching the actual Ultraman Tiga free from 4Kids early? That if we decide to extend this show into like an actual proper watch of the original Ultraman Tiga, we can just make this episode a very quick one. So we'll just go over these 2-parter and call it an easy week. So
I do want to say I fucking love this intro.
Yeah, I kind of miss the days where they just kind of showcase the vehicles. Although, do you think it's a little cold?
No, not the intro. I mean the songs.
Oh yeah. With that says, I will definitely. If you put a gun in my head and told me to pick which song is better, I think the original Ultraman Tiga song is way better.
Oh, absolutely. I prefer this over Pull the Trigger any day.
It's just a shame there's so many like weird copyright problems around it, thanks to Johnny and Associates.
Yeah. Although, isn't Johnny's dead now?
He's dead, but the company still lives on.
Damn it. Isn't Tech supposed to show up here?
If it was the broadcast version, I think this is taken directly from
Land Shark, the smartest of their kind. Japanland, the one place where nothing goes wrong and people live totally normal. Oh my God!
Oh no! Epcot Center is exploding. Japanland's going down with it.
Why didn't we appease the Japanese Disney gods by building an actual attraction there?
Run! It's Baragon, and he's doing his Jaws impression again. I'm sorry, Andres. I think you should be the official English voice for Baragon from now on.
Hey guys,
Why did you? Target.
Funny enough, Kumamoto. So this is Kumamoto. It's kind of funny given that we were just talking, given what recently occurred in the world of indie tokusatsu in Kumamoto. If you remember that recent controversy involving Soldia.
Yeah.
Where they want to crowdfund money to build a mascot superhero for Kumamoto Prefecture, only for the people who raised the money to create a character that was a blatant ripoff of Kamen Rider 01, just spray painted red and blue.
Exactly.
And with wearing the toy belt of what's his name? Akito? I don't know.
One of the Kamen Riders all have wacky
Someone
belts.
else, yeah. Maybe it was O's, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Have you ever
No, it wasn't O's. What?
Have you ever been to Kumamoto?
Kumamoto. No. Kumamoto. No, I haven't.
Okay. Warrior King says, Street Sharks, awesome! Jawsome!
Jawsome!
Alright. Wow, a kaiju street shark. Yes, Doomzilla. Tokupunk disagrees with us and says Dinah and Gaia had better themes.
Go fuck yourself. Wrong.
You're that Tokupunk Productions? You got a certified fuck yourself.
You're a poopy head.
Yeah.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
Porkins gets eaten by the mechanical shark at Universal Studios. Uh-oh, there goes the land shark.
Smile, you son of a bitch. We did it, fellas. We saved the day.
Japanland is back to normal until they replace it with that terrible Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster.
Oh.
Seriously, Disneyland sucks. I agree with you, Poseidon Entertainment. It's getting worse over there.
By the way, if you want to check out a very interesting theme park YouTube channel, check out Poseidon Entertainment.
I just recently discovered them, and I love how wonderfully blunt and realistic he is about the state of Disney parks as well as parks around the world.
Absolutely, it's like he's very critical about them, but also you can tell he, like myself, deeply appreciates like when they the beauty of Disney parks and how Disney is capable of so much more.
Right.
And how it's very ironic that they're now just repeating the mistakes that Universal was making 5 years ago by relying too much on simulator rides, where you just stare at a 3D screen and nothing else.
Yeah, not to mention them just lazily putting popular IPs on very simplistic attractions. Like, I honestly can't believe that the big new Guardians of the Galaxy ride in Epcot is just going to be a roller coaster, nothing more, nothing less. It's like... Oy. But anyways, Land Shark.
Smartest of their kind.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry lady, I was too busy watching reruns of Tiga.
I'm trying to sync it up with that terrible podcast featuring the fighting parents. That's us, Andres.
It is?
Yeah. Anyways. Rodan's there. Oh, it is Mount Aso. Okay. Oh, thank goodness they actually put real... Well, that was a CGI model, but at least they're moving in front of the moving footage, as opposed to like the earlier episodes where it was just like...
Just a PNG moving, sliding across the screen.
Yeah.
I wonder how long it takes to customize a car to look that way.
Well, they do a pretty good job. You can't really tell where the fake bits and the new bits begin. That made no sense. Uh-oh, they're coming up across a mansion from Godzilla Singular Point.
La da 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 da.
There's Brayton.
Are you saying he's a ghost?
No, he's just there. Oh, there's our PNG.
No, I thought that was a model.
Oh, it was? Okay. Better to be an actual model than just a simple PNG. Warrior King sings, "Show me the way to go home. I'm tired, I want to go to bed." So, Toku Punk says, "Yo, Tiga Gubula." Yeah.
It is true. He is kind of meant to be an homage to Gubila.
Yeah, that is true. A lot of the monsters in Ultraman Tiga are homages to more famous Ultraman monsters.
What do you know? Paying homage to the past while actually creating something original.
Yeah. You're that Batman movie makers. So, Goji
Stairwares.
Yeah. Goji Shea says, "Hey, isn't this Aquaman riding the shark? What kind of DC hero show is this?"
I thought we were already done with haunted forests and spooky ghosts.
I will say this, like, even though when I'm enjoying the current era of Ultraman, it is kind of sad that you don't get the same kind of episode numbers and monster variety that we used to get with shows like Tiga.
Not to mention the sort of like kind of like, what do you call it, like a proper build up and tension.
Oh yeah,
like slower moments like these.
Exactly.
Where instead it's just gotta be like constant action and noise in your face all the time.
Yeah, as well as building up who the episode's villain is gonna be. Hey, don't knock telepathy until you tried it. Ask Boo.
Your mom.
That's why.
Yeah, that's CGI.
Yeah, at least it's somewhat decent CGI. Well, for its time.
Yeah, for its time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like you got to be aware of the context behind all of this. You gotta know, why it is the way it is. What when this was made, where this was made,
right,
and why this was made.
Oh no, the giant shark's gonna reenact that scene from Falling Down. You're gonna die with that stupid hat.
I thought this was gonna be a recreation of the gopher scene from Caddyshack.
Oh no. Come get me, Bill Murray! I can take you on. I'm the land shark.
Actually, I'm a canogram. Nick Bitkin says, I just hope Ultraman doesn't have the same relationship with the shark as the Deep had with the dolphin.
Oh no.
I'm glad I don't know what that's referencing.
Me neither.
Warrior King says, Hollywood in general could learn from Tokusatsu when it comes to homaging and respecting the past while creating something new and good.
That is true. Although, I think Ultraman and Godzilla probably does a way better job at it than other Tokusatsu, especially Kamen Rider, but that's a whole different subject later.
Warrior King says, I too enjoy the modern Ultra shows as well, but I agree with Raph that it's a shame that we don't get as many episodes or variety of monsters as we once did.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny that we made a Disneyland joke early on, given that we're in the middle of it. I forgot that this involved a theme park.
Yeah. And what does it say about the show's production values when it can afford so many fleeing citizens in an episode like this?
Yeah, but then again, this was before the dark times, Raph. Before the age of COVID.
No. That's
and
right.
Tokupunk, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Tokupunk says, It's all damn China's flat why Ultraman is so short now and is not half the budget as Sentai and Rider, despite Ultraman looking better visually. It's China's fault.
Filthy Frank, stop it.
Well, listen here. If I were to talk about China, I'd sound like this. I'd be ready to drop some B-14 truth bombs. I like that when they kind of like skip over the transformation sequence and go like incorporate the transformation into an action.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Fitkin says, I forgot you hadn't seen The Boys. Think creepy sex pervert butt of a man with a dolphin.
Oh, yeah, okay, now I get it. Stupid boys.
Now he's Red Man.
I'm gonna kill you.
No, Bruce, no, I won't let you make Jaws 4. No, Jaws 5. You've done enough damage
I
to
need the
moviegoers.
money. I'm not seeing residuals from that Universal ride.
I also hear they're gonna tear it down.
They're taking out Jaws.
This looks sexually suggestive.
It's a fin, Andres. Okay, it does look suggestive. Everything on this.
How you do? Ah!
Put me down. I'll go back in the ground.
Not that way.
I really do like the design of Geoshark. It's almost kind of a shame the monster never made a return appearance.
Yeah, although I definitely recognize that roar. It sounds a lot like the what's it? It sounds like a several different monster roars from Tiga, earlier in Tiga.
Yeah.
Gagi? Maybe Gagi.
I think you're right. My armpit! My one and only weakness! You know, if this was really Disneyland, you know the cast members would be told to stay behind and clean up after everybody and they'd be killed in the crossfire.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Doomzilla says, of course, the Ferris wheel is a death trap, and Warrior King says, I'd love to see Godzilla trash a Disney World type location on a movie someday.
Didn't Tokyo Disneyland appear in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2 or somewhere else?
I think it did, but I don't think Godzilla destroyed anything significant. Wait a minute, he's Arnold Schwarzenegger? Now, even though I'm totally okay with the idea of a giant...
Wait a minute, you mean to tell me this is a fake suit?
Oh my god. Clearly this is the work of Old Man Witherspoon trying to keep the amusement park people out so we can find the treasure.
Next you're gonna tell me this entire amusement park was a model set.
Yeah, and that the guy in the Ultraman suit is a guy. Only you can hear this transmission. But I like blowing stuff up. How's this trivial? Goji says, I've heard of flying fish, but this is ridiculous. This is something we almost never see in Ultraman, a mad scientist who can actually take on an Ultraman through his creations.
Right. Essentially like someone else discovering the Ultraman powers.
Exactly, and one who's smart and skilled enough that he actually made a proper working robotic kaiju. Usually when a mad scientist shows up in an Ultraman series, it's like, there's two types of mad scientists. There's the cool supervillains who can take on the heroes directly and indirectly, and then there's the mad scientists who are just idiots who kind of dig their own gravestone. So, and usually we get more of the latter than the former. And there goes Geoshark. Do you think it's kind of a shame that Geoshark, because it's a robot, it makes it difficult to bring the creature back so easily?
Nah, they've brought... How many times have they brought back King Joe?
Yeah, but King Joe's like a robotic standard of the Ultraman series. This is like...
Yeah, and then in that case, it could be easy. It's easy to bring back Geoshark, but in that case,
Okay, yeah.
through the same means.
Yeah,
They have a fucking multiverse now.
That is true. And like I was gonna say, just have someone else create a new Geosark. It's like a popular android monster model. Oh, Grugodon's in there. Oh wait, never mind.
I remember that scene.
Yeah. Typical American drama writing, the hero being accused of being a bigger villain by the villain. Blech.
Yeah, that's not very nice.
Bitch slap of the gods!
Oh no, he's got a superiority complex.
Oh no.
Kill him! He thinks he's better than me! Destroy him!
Okay, there was no need to take your shirt off, dude. You're already proving you were superior.
We get it, you're physically fit and attractive.
Yeah, this is worse than when like Lex Luthor always goes like, Superman, look at my pecs! No, Lex Luthor, they're too good!
What, did you buy this for $39.99 at Toys R Us?
And yet, he's not as annoying or as arrogant as half the villains from Kamen Rider Agito.
Goji Safe said this is the JoJo Dio dynamic all over again. Arguably.
Warrior King says, you know the villain means business when he spends a fortune on creating a cyborg shark just to screw with the hero. And he further asks, is Geosark a full-fledged robot monster or a cyborg the mad scientist created from the remains of a flesh and blood kaiju? He's a full-blown robot. An android. A robot made to look like a living creature but is otherwise fully mechanical.
A robot even.
Yeah, android.
Robot.
Android.
Robot.
Android.
Robot.
Android.
Robot.
Android.
Ace.
Gaia. I panicked there. I should have said Toro. Uh-oh, a traitor in our midst. This particular scientist has been a recurring character throughout the whole series, and he's always been kind of a shady douchebag. Mm-hmm. The kind of guy who's more than
because classics are nerdy.
Well, none of that, but it's like in past episodes, he'd gladly let like a murderous kaiju run amok because he wanted to do research, but when like an innocent kaiju comes and help, he's like the first one that says, we should dissect it. So yeah, he was throwing red flags throughout the whole series, so I think it was kind of a wise move to actually make him a full-on villain or traitor, as opposed to other tokusatsu series where you just kind of have indifferent, mean-spirited side characters for the sake of mean-spirited side characters. Oh. That little bit of character humor in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's an impressive location. On the other hand, it looks like that bridge is about to break any minute.
All by myself, don't wanna be all by myself anymore.
Now you can own the soundtrack of Depression from Ultraman Tiga.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
143 tracks located on 48 discs.
Tell me, how am I supposed to live without you?
And with the special rendering of several love songs by famous kaiju like Gankyu and Golza.
Rar.
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 Sorry, I put you in a bind there. Now at the low, low price of 3 spark lens. Oh, Nick and Laura, I'm surprised you're not saying, "Oh, look at the doggy."
Remember, Raph, there is a delay between what we see and what we read.
Oh, okay. Warrior King says, I'd be fine if someone building a new Geoshark mecha to fight in the future Ultra series or being reimagined as actual flesh and blood creature. Doomzilla said while we were doing our little musical interlude, angst time. And Zyza Draw says, Howdy Nua from Shrek starts playing. Goji says, all around me are familiar faces.
Your faces, worn out places.
Oh, Warrior King. He says, KAIJUNOIR, don't quit your day job. You have no more future in the music. You have no future in the music industry. Hey, KAIJUNOIR can sing better than I can. Laura,
there we go.
Yeah, there we go. She says, oh, look at the doggy. Laura, you're going to love next week's episode. We got a doggy puppy kaiju coming.
I also love this song.
Yeah. With that says, do you think tokusatsu theme songs have become way too overproduced as opposed to just having a good beat?
I really don't know about that because I don't listen to a whole lot of Japanese music. For a lot of it, it's kind of like either I really dig it or I just think it's okay.
Right.
So, but again, I haven't seen enough of it for me to really make a strong opinion one way or the other.
Okay. That was a pretty good episode.
Yeah, I like the mystery, the drama, the suspense, and then the reveal that it's like, oh my god, another Tiga.
And he's shirtless. No. Also, it just moved at a good pace too. It wasn't too hyperactive, but it wasn't too slow either. So.
And we didn't have constant interruptions to buy Ultraman the Live, available on DVD and Blu-ray.
Only for the low, low price of your soul. Okay, so let's...
And Laura said, actually, we were at the store and missed the start, so we're just going to catch the next one. Okay. All right, Laura.
Okay, cool. So, but yeah, no, next week, Doggy Kaiju. Come and join us early. So, that was episode 30... oh, damn it. Was it 43 or
43?
43 of Ultraman Tiga, the first part of the Evil Tiga saga. So, revisiting it, what was your thoughts?
I love it.
Awesome. All right, moving on to our next episode.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, but no, I got nothing else to say. Yeah, let me change the thing here.
Tokupunk brought up the modern day Sentai dancing end themes. I forgot about those. Yeah, no, just no.
Like, I kind of enjoy
Oh, by the way, you just shared an image of the monster, and his name is pronounced Geozak.
Gilzak. Okay.
Geo. Here's the thing. They spelled out Geo, but they literally pronounced it as Geo. Geo. Even the Geo.
Geo.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things I hate about Japan, where they refuse to pay attention to how it's pronounced, rather they just pay attention to what it's spelled.
So
if you're looking at Geo, if you don't know anything about English, you would see Geo as Ge-o, right?
Right.
But if you are familiar with the English language, you know that we don't pronounce it as Geo, we pronounce it as Geo, and Japan can easily pronounce Geo. Like, look at the Kamen Rider from a couple of years ago, Kamen Rider Geo. So they could easily pronounce it and spell it as Geo, but no, they gotta do it just like how it's spelled, and I hate it because it makes things confusing on both ends. So it is supposed to be Geozark, but that's not how they want to do it. They gotta overcomplicate shit.
Is that one of the big hurdles when you're trying to teach English in Japan?
Kind of. Occasionally they'll pronounce things wrong, and I would have to teach them how we say it. Like, for instance, everyone says IKEA, but I'm like, no, it's not IKEA, it's IKEA. No one's going to understand you if you say IKEA in English in America.
Right.
I don't know how they pronounce it in Europe, but we in good old US of A, we say IKEA.
Right. In Japan, they call it Ikaru.
And Laura says, "What's the puppy kaiju?"
Guardy. He's okay. So at the end of the episode that we just watched, there was a little puppy that led Daigo into a cave where there's a statue of a giant dog monster and another Ultraman Tiga. That little doggy is named Guardy, and he's going to be turned into. He's going to merge with the statue. So he's kind of a pseudo Ultraman doggy kaiju. But you'll see in next week's episode. So he's he's cute.
Goji Shea is channeling his inner Joestar. Geo!
That's how I felt. It's like, no, Raph, you got to say it like this. You know, isn't it great how on this show you can learn a little bit about the Japanese language? I mean, we do have some education.
And how it's all bullshit. Especially when it comes to shit that isn't even actually Japanese.
Oh my goodness. So we're going to start the next episode. Anything else in the comments we need to check out?
Nope.
Okay, it looks like we're good. All right.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first part of, I think the name of, we'll get into it. The subtitles will probably clarify everything. So, okay. Do you need me to send you the link, or you got it?
You sent me an episode for yeah, I got the link for episode 11.
Oh, okay. So.
Although, why did you label it as episode 12 in the description?
Because I got confused.
God damn it, Ralph.
Right, I'll change that in the edit. Or will I? Gentlemen, this is the first... Okay.
Now, it depends. Are you going to finally upload that review of Godzilla Singular Point that Patrick, Matt, and I graciously gave the time of our lives to help you record that?
Sorry, I'm trying to get myself out of the spot you just put me in. Okay, so... I'm not going to answer that officially. No, I'm trying to wait for the episode to load. Okay. Well, are you on 00?
Yep.
Fuck it.
Are you going to upload the Singular Point review?
Maybe.
Good.
Okay. That's not even a good answer, and you'll still take it. So.
I'll take what I can get at this point.
All right. Okay. All right, are you on 00?
Yep.
Okay, everyone else, go to the description, open the wrongly titled episode 12, actually episode 11, of Ultraman Trigger. So, Laura, thank you so much. Okay, if you're willing to help me with that, I will things will go a lot quicker with some extra help instead of me suffering all by myself. So, and we are ready to be advertised too. Yes, Nick. Let's watch the Ultraman commercials. Warrior King says, by the way, sorry to go off topic, but as a Gundam, we'll save that for later. I'm sorry, Warrior King. Save that for when we're done watching the episode. Andres will be here all day talking about Gundam. Okay, so...
Roberts!
Android. Okay, so...
It's Totopoulos.
No. Nigel! Ah! Okay.
Smashing!
Right. Yes. Okay. Enough of this silliness. So, all right.
Now time for this silliness.
Yeah. So everyone, I hope you're on 00 with Ultraman Trigger episode 11. So in 3, 2, 1, play. All right, immediate res. Oh no, mommy, daddy are fighting.
I don't know why I'm having such difficulty all of a sudden. It's as if the plot determined me to suddenly be weak against this crazy woman.
I think you can't answer your own question. It is a crazy one. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry for saying that.
Evil!
What second you're on? I got a bit of a buffering.
116, 117, 118, 119, 120.
124?
Now 124,
Okay.
25, 26, 27.
Okay. I'm just a second behind, but I can deal with it. I didn't know she could do that.
This episode is moving oddly, ridiculously fast, I think. Like, not only did we just start right off the bat with a fight, unless they're going to do a thing where, like, we're going to build up to this very moment.
Yeah.
And for those who just saw Ultraman Tiga for the first time, now you know where the title sequence came from.
Exactly. Warrior King says, I wish Chimera and Trigger would play their BDSM games out in public. Children could be watching. Oh, that's right, Laura. I do. Yeah, don't worry. I still owe you the Hercules Legendary Adventures DVD as payment. So it's safe and sound. Doomzilla says, why didn't Chimera do that in the first place? Tell me when you're on 259. We're coming up to it.
2:59, 3 minutes.
Okay. All right, we're linked. We're synced. Yeah, Nick, this does feel like the end of an actual episode. Then it should be the beginning of an episode.
At least by old school anime standards, back when the ending was just as kick-ass as the original opening.
Oh yeah, you don't get that often anymore, huh? The ending,
nah.
The ending is like way too
calm.
medicated.
Yeah. Like, it's that meme again. Remember the Kermit the Frog meme I showed you?
Oh, yeah.
Anime opening. Anime outro.
Warrior King says, to be fair, Chimera is supposed to be the baddest of the three giants of darkness, so it makes sense that she'd be this tough against Tiga.
But why wasn't she initially?
Yeah.
She was literally the first person Trigger ever fought.
Nick Fitkin says, evil Ultraman figure, buy now, complete with evil mustache. Wait a minute, this is just regular Ultraman Trigger, but with a Mr. Potato Head mustache glued on. That's a big mustache.
You uncultured swine!
Warrior King says, plus I think she's meant to be the perfect blend of speed and power like Trigger's Omni mode, so I don't think the speed and strength modes would be as effective against her as it is against her partners. Doomzilla, freaking ads. We gotta support this show somehow, unfortunately.
Hey, at least there's no actual, like, ad breaks in the middle.
Yeah, that is true. And also, I'll take these short 2-minute breaks from Tubai Productions' YouTube channel than the 15-minute commercial breaks that you're seeing on cable television shows these days. It's getting ridiculous. Like, I swear...
Nobody watches cable these days, Raph.
But where else am I going to see what do we do in the shadows?
Internet!
Yeah, but yeah. I don't want to go to those creepy Russian websites you always send me to. Where I gotta watch Putin do a little booty shake before I can watch the movie proper. He takes this off his shirt, it's like, look at my abs, comrade. God, they really nerfed this mecha jet in the last 10 episodes. It's like it had a good start, and then it's like always constantly getting its ass kicked.
It's a creepy sex pervert!
So you will not back down from love? Laura, I don't know why there isn't any Lady Ultraman underwear, okay?
Did he just turn into LCL goo?
Oh no. But technically that's a good thing according to the last movie, right?
Well, actually there was no LCL.
Oh yeah, other than poor Ray.
Right.
Nani?
Uh-oh!
No, Chimera, don't do it. He's dead. Oh. That's right. She was in a freak unicycle accident, was in a coma for 30 million years.
So you think this version of Trigger never redeemed himself prior to turning into a statue?
I think so, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, this is the first of 2 parts, so maybe things will be more clarified.
Although it would be interesting if, like, the Ultraman of a particular series turned out to be something like Belial, who then was possessed by a good spirit, kind of like Amon and Akira when they formed Devilman.
Right. Warrior King says, I will say that I would have liked to have seen the beginning of this battle instead of the tail end of it. First time I watched it, I thought I had missed an episode or something.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
My god, she's spreading her BDSM fetish all over the world!
I'll make you my bitch, Earth! Uh-oh, who's this? Spooky music, spooky music.
Nomine!
My beeper.
Just smile, smile!
We're smiling! Okay, we're gonna smile! Trigger Dark. Okay, that's the official name of the character.
That's a weird name.
Yeah.
Just call him Dark Trigger.
Yeah.
Again, it's the Japanese not understanding how English words function.
No, they
it's like they took the Spanish route.
Aw. I was gonna say they do know how English work. That's why they decided to name this new evil Ultraman after a beer brand.
I do like the little cheat they do with, like, kind of putting in a red filter.
Mm-hmm. What's up?
I'm the special. Stop, you creepy sex pervert!
I was gonna make that same joke, but I held myself back. Warrior King says, Chimera's theme song should be Where There's a Whip, There's a Way.
Let's do what the Japanese do!
Not like Dargon.
She just needs to put her hand up to her mouth.
Yeah. Is that cliche still very prevalent in Japanese fiction, or has it kind of disappeared a bit?
I don't know. I don't watch enough anime.
Okay, good for you. Not like
unless there's robots involved. Ah! It's funny that he still doesn't speak.
Yeah. I guess ancient Trigger Dark, he was sort of like the strong silent type supervillain of the group.
Mm-hmm.
There's always
like Amon.
Yeah. Yeah. Used to be cool, Amon, until he merged with that human. Biblical apocalypse shit. That was my impression of Devilman. Then you don't have to watch the show, everyone.
Especially if you don't like depressing endings.
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, at least Go Nagai ended something.
Yes, that is true. He provided a proper, definitive ending to something that he was actually passionate about.
Mm-hmm. But then he kind of screwed up by saying it was a time loop created by God, and he got to do all those spin-offs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
but hey, at least he ended up creating Violence Jack, and he also did create a definitive ending for Violence Jack.
Just you Devilman fans, you'll defend anything.
Hey, I'm not going to defend Shin Devilman.
Okay, I'm glad you went with that instead of the. I don't know. It's like I find it weird that Devilman fans have never seen the live action movie, but they'll still defend it on principle and principle alone.
Why would they?
I don't know. Fans.
Why the fuck would they defend it?
I guess it's like Star Wars fans when it's like, you know, the minute, like, they'll gladly say the prequels suck, but the minute when someone says Star Wars sucks in general, they'll suddenly die on a hill for the prequels.
Yeah, like how everyone wants to die on the prequels hills now that the sequel trilogy turned out to be bad.
Yeah. Oh, these commercials are getting a little annoying. Buy this! Put batteries in that! Buy!
Capitalism, yeah!
When you do a Draco Azul toy commercial, are you gonna go that crazy?
Depends.
Okay. Please let me be a narrator in it. Oh my god, look at what this can do! Yeah!
Draco Azul, speed time! Yeah! How you doing? Galaxy!
There's an old chestnut nobody remembers.
Say the change!
Fruit of Samurai! Breakdancing, go!
Go, yeah! Ghost!
There's like serious character drama going here. We just keep doing dumb stuff.
Gato!
Samba music with the dinosaur gods.
In the future!
Laura says,
Bitch, can you say that in English, please?
Laura says, we just got a YouTube ad during the Ultraman ad. Must consume.
Oh, no.
Oh.
So I guess we must be ahead of those guys.
Yeah. I gotta admit, thanks to Ace, without him, we would never find our ad blockers, and life would be a lot less enjoyable.
What do you mean? I found this from myself.
Oh, good for you. Well, whatever. We got ad blockers. That's all that matters. Warrior King says, looks like Chimera was the boss even back then. She just favored Trigger above the others. Oh yeah, playing favorites. You know, it's kind of, now that you mention it, it's kind of interesting how she's like the very dominant one and he doesn't speak at all. Trigger Dark.
Mm-hmm.
So that really says a lot about their relationship.
He said it! He did the thing!
Smile. We haven't invented Smile yet. It's prehistoric times.
I mean, really far away.
Right. Warrior King says... Oh, go on.
Stupid far away. You're all gonna be dead, but still, it's gonna get better after this.
That's why I don't like optimists. The world's on fire, but smile, smile. Warrior King asks, will Draco Azul action figures scream "Galaxy, Galaxy" over and over again in Andres' voice? We got a preview.
Yeah!
Galaxy! Sorry.
Galaxy?
Galaxy? There, yeah, it should just be all of us doing you saying Galaxy, and then we can just put it on endless loop. Zaiza Draw says, smile, smile, what language is that?
That's true, because everyone speaks Japanese.
Uh-huh.
That's another thing. See how they pronounce energy? Because they see the GY and thinks G is pronounced G.
I was just going to say, it's amazing how, like, the actor inside the Metron costume, or Marlulu, I'm honestly, like, he can hop around and go everywhere. I'm surprised he hasn't, you know, tripped over with that huge thing over his head.
Well, then again, that's where editing comes in, Raph.
Oh, yeah.
And bloopers.
Yeah, there's probably like 20 bloopers of that poor actor or actress falling through the set.
It's just gonna. It's like Dark Helmet. I can't breathe out of this thing.
And in between shoots, the rest of the cast is like, you know, don't wear that thing. I don't know if you're making faces out of us underneath that. Laura Ficken says, and then she pulled out her ancient pepper spray and maced him back to the present. Gochi says, I'm sure Draco Azul action figure voiced by Andres would say, I'm here, Galaxy. Guardian of the Galaxy now, bitches. Brayton says, Galax, really?
Galaxy, really?
There, you gotta go to the original to hear it done right. Amazing transition.
You sick, creepy sex perverts!
We're not all sex perverts, just most of us. That's right, the Eternity Core was that weird orb we saw in the ancient stone art in previous episodes. Excellento? What kind of Japanese word is that?
She's definitely channeling a lot of Rita Repulsa energy.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Warrior King says, Chimera. Excellent! With this Uzuri action figure, my collection is at least complete. Oh! Ho, 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 ho. Let me do that again. Let me never do that again.
You don't know me!
Oh man, did you be destroyed by the giant gimp? Oh no, they're going through the Star Trek portal. They're gonna kill Spock's love interest. Or was that Kirk's love interest? I can never get the episodes right.
Oh god. I got shit, you guys. You guys. Shit. I'm so fucking tired. Like, do you remember the episode of South Park where they're just like running from one house to another and you got Cartman running behind? Daddy, you guys. Yeah. Oh no, Donut. I'll come back for you.
Doomzilla says over dramatic enough. So Laura says, why does Trigger Dark have a heart of gold? I guess that was before he blew up his arrow.
Okay, I never noticed that. That's kind of like a little clever little foreshadow there.
Huh.
Take this variant toy and make sure to advertise it when the time is right.
Right. Thank you, Laura. It was Kirk. Go on.
For the true collectors in all of us, make sure they collect responsibly.
Hey, it looks like Trigger's okay, everybody. Oh, shite. Not another toy commercial at a moment like this.
It's a Blu-ray commercial, Ralph.
Oh, okay. That makes everything so much better. Doomzilla, about my weird little laugh, he says, never do that again, but Zaiza Draw says, do that again. Warriorkin says, gotta channel Naga the Serpent when you do the evil noblewoman anime laugh.
Right, from, what's it called? Slayers?
Yeah, the Slayers movies. Yeah.
I saw a couple episodes of that on SKL.
Yeah. Should I draw Naga the Serpent? Of course I should.
At this point, I'm pretty sure the kids have already forgotten Ultraman Z even exists. as they move on to the next flavor of the month, Hero.
Yeah. Kamen Rider Reversed?
Although I guess in the case of Saber, I'm pretty sure everyone just went back to buying 01 toys.
Oh, yeah.
Because Kamen Rider Saber sucked.
Thank you. And I thought Agito was bad. That's what I say every time I go into the lamp section at my Home Depot. I feel the power rising in me. And then I'm asked to leave. Yeah, send in the silent slave boy, whipping boy to be the test subject. I didn't notice that Chimera's lips are actually luminescent. Like they have a little bit of a light coming out of it.
Oh, I never noticed that.
Yeah.
Ew, it's all dirty in here.
Well, this was a bad idea. Monster X! Oh, it's just Ultraman Trigger. Dark Trigger. Trigger Dark. Trigger Black Dynamite.
Trigger.
Yeah. Triggered.
Now, that's honestly kind of scary, hearing an Ultraman scream.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Okairi Nasai. That's like a phrase that they say whenever you come back home from work.
Lorik Ficken says, Riley does Dead Cthulhu Lie Dreaming. I wouldn't think there's to be a Lovecraft in Ultraman. I'll get into detail about that.
There's a lot of Lovecraft in the original Tiga.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when this episode's over. But Warrior King says, so I guess we're looking at some sort of time loop situation, like Trigger became good only because Kengo went back in time to confront and change him. Assuming, of course, this isn't an Amen Akira Fudo style situation. Where does a good guy possess a bad guy to be... Yeah, blah, blah. Hold on. Suitmation beating the shit out of the pretty boy.
I have to beat the shit out of you myself. I'll make you smile.
I can't. It's a mask.
I said I'll make you smile. He actually said it.
Oh my god.
He actually said it. I'll make you smile. Oh god, I didn't think too clearly about this.
I've made some terrible mistakes. You know, if you squint, he looks like Ultraman the Next.
He kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the design. It's not too busy, but it's definitely a more complex design.
Yeah. Yes, like, I like Dargon, I like Trigger Dark, but the other two Giants of Darkness, they definitely are a little... I would have to agree they're a little on the busy side for my taste. Like, did we really need the racetrack lines on her boobs?
Yes!
What kind of freaky world is this where you agree with my disagreement?
No.
Okay. Will Ultraman Trigger save the day from the creepy sex perverts from the ancient times? Find out next week.
Now where's all the dancing?
Yeah, all our characters obnoxiously like getting fish lens, doing like, do the cha-cha choo-choo dance. Doomzilla says, something tells me their little Nars ship, it might transform. We're hoping that, because me and Andres are big, well, I don't know about, we're both fans of the...
Robots!
Yeah, we're fans of Nars, the robot dragon from Ultra 7, so we'd love to see the base actually turn into a proper mecha monster.
Wait, I just realized she could have used that tool the whole time, but only waited until he showed up.
Oh... That's problematic. The truth I discover as I face Dark Trigger. I'm getting my ass kicked! Warrior King says, let's put a smile on that face.
Of yours.
Yeah, and Doomzilla says, of course it ends right there. Laura Ficken says, do you know how I got these scars? I told the wrong person to smile. And Warrior King says, Trigger Dark, give you the strength to help everybody? Bitch, please, did you not notice me trying to kill you earlier? I'm evil.
Evil!
Evil! So...
Evil!
Okay, so that's our first part of the introduction of Trigger Dark. So what do you think, Mr. Kaiju Noir?
It was very exciting.
Yeah, so now I've noticed with, especially in the last couple of years with recent Ultraman series, when something serious happens plot-wise, it's usually preceded by an extremely comical episode. And of course, last week we had Dargon in love with an 18-year-old. So yeah, it's like, I think from now on, if we watch these Ultraman shows and we get like a completely comical episode, you know, shit's gonna go down next week. So, but now that I think about it, I wasn't too thrilled with the idea of Trigger Dark to begin with, because it's like we see too many mirror antagonists or doppelganger villains in modern day fiction these days. It's one of the big problems that kind of hound the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and certain areas of the DC Comics that isn't Batman, especially in Tokusatsu. It's like you can't watch a Kamen Rider series where the monsters don't matter because we have an evil Kamen Rider coming up in an episode or two. But no, I do like his design. I have like a full body picture of Trigger Dark on the screen right now, and yeah, it's pretty appealing for what it is. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to see what happens next week's episode. So, all right, any other thoughts about it?
No, other than it's kind of interesting to get a full backstory on Trigger, given that we only caught glimpses of Tiga's evil backstory. And I feel like this one is a much more fleshed out take on the evil Ultraman's backstory than in the Ultraman Tiga movie, The Final Odyssey.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you there. I hope we get more details about what happens in the next episode or in future episodes, because do you think it's a little cheap that it was Kengo who, because he went back in time, he began the events, or do you think that...
No, it's a rather common trope for like this time loop scenario, and it gives Kengo more to do on top of him being able to learn firsthand how things came to be. It also allows him to play an active role in the story, as opposed to him just simply standing there watching it all take place and then having him say, "I know what I must do now," and then ends up like fighting Tiga. I don't know. It's kind of it's a little more complex. There's more stuff going on simultaneously, I feel.
Yeah, I think it in this case it works beautifully, but it on one hand though I would counter argue, but not completely, that it does kind of tie into like the weak everything is fate narrative you see way too much in superhero fiction these days. Like, you just can't let heroes be heroes. They gotta, like,
in that case, that's essentially what happened with Ultraman, with Dark Tiga in the Ultraman movie, where you did just had Daigo essentially watch his backstory and then continue to have an active role in the present day.
Yeah, and the great thing about Dark Tiga is that he chose to become a good guy. It wasn't like, he saw too much of the madness that was going on. He deliberately chose to become a hero. Hence, he ended up becoming...
It does rob Trigger of his agency by having him forced to be a good guy through Kengo's actions. But then again, it's almost like Trigger's almost like a non-entity in this case.
Yeah, with that says, I think Kengo being a positive influence on him is a good thing. So, but we'll see what happens. Do you think they're going to keep Trigger Dark around for more episodes after next week's episode? Since it looks
most likely not.
Okay, all right, because it does look like they are separated into two separate entities. So.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. Well, you saw Trigger's new glitter form against Trigger Dark in the preview.
No.
There. Oh, you didn't?
I didn't.
Okay, that was okay. I was probably mumbling or something. So, but yeah, they're gonna duke it out in person against one another. Yeah.
All right then.
Okay. So, Doomzilla says, it's amusing the big bads are trying to tempt the good guy into being bad. It usually blows up in their faces. Yeah, that is true. And Warrior King says, I'm tired of Superman being portrayed as evil and everything. Good Superman is best Superman. Agreed. And if it's not evil Superman, it's usually Superman fighting a evil Superman-like character, like General Zod. He continues by saying, I'd like to see how the Giants of Darkness got their start, how they met, and what began their campaign of conquest, how many other Ultras there were in this universe beside themselves, etc. Good point, Warrior King. Yeah, it's like, why is there an actual good reason why Chimera wants to return everything to darkness, or you think they're just bad guys for the sake of being bad guys?
Probably that.
Okay. So, of course, Doomzilla agrees. I doubt it. Okay, so, Warrior King, you had a Gundam-related question for Kaiju Noir. If you want to re-ask it, go ahead, because this is kind of the part where we wind down and just take whatever random questions we get. And let me transition the screen to a better close-up of Trigger Dark himself. So, yeah, there goes this week's episode. So, not half bad. Yeah, that's basically it. I can't think of anything else, but we'll stick around for another 10 to 15 minutes. If you guys have any other questions, place them now, because we will definitely be going.
Or forever hold your peace.
Yeah.
Amen.
While me and Daddy here renew our wedding vows and fight some more.
Fuck you.
It's so sad. I've taken a weakness and turned into a greater weakness. Okay, so, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm sorry, we're living in a post-Ultraman powered...
We're living in a society!
Yeah, a society. Actually, I gotta go. There's something I need to take care of. Will you take care of the chat section for a little bit?
Sure thing.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, everyone go ahead and ask questions, and Andres will take care of it for a little bit. I'll be back in a few.
Okay. Let's see. We got our first one where Warrior King Forever said, I want to ask Andres if he knew the etymology behind the mecha names Gyaradoga or from Char's counterattack. Let's see. That I do not know. I mean, you would have to the best place to go to would be the Gundam fan wiki. If there is any purpose behind their names. And currently looking right now, don't really see anything off the bat. But then again, this would require me to just sort of take my attention off of the chat, take my attention away from the chat to check. But yeah, unfortunately, I have no idea where the Gyaradoga got its name from. Okay, yeah. So I'm looking through like a Gundam fan wiki, and some Gundam fans suspect that Gera might just be a made-up word like Zaku, where it's just like what sounds cool for the enemy mechs. I don't know, Gira, whatever they call it. And Warrior King later said, like, if he knew if Gyaradoga meant anything special, if it was just made up, cool sounding name, yeah, that seems to be the case. I'm always curious about the naming conventions behind mecha and kaiju in general. I'm assuming that I'm assuming that in some cases they do take certain names because they just make up shit because it sounds cool, or they do take something that is that does have significant meaning in its name, or maybe it's a combination of the two. Like I believe Gundam was just like literally the combination of the words gun and damn. And just like they took real words, slapped them together, and made a name. And Goji said, have you ever seen Titan AE or Treasure Planet, Andres? If not, know what I'd recommend to you on Fully Endorsed was I start my YouTube channel. Yes, I have seen Treasure Planet way back when it first came out in theaters. I vividly remember watching it at the local AMC. Unfortunately, I have not seen Titan AE, but it does look pretty interesting from what I've seen on various Don Bluth retrospectives on YouTube. And Doomzilla says, most Mobile Suit names do tend to use different mythologies from the past. All right. I do know in certain cases, like Zeta, that's just, simply named after the word Z, or Turn A Gundam, probably the most interesting one, where Turn A is a mathematical equation meaning all, because Turn A Gundam was meant to be the celebration of Gundam's entire history. And so I guess we don't really have any more questions then outside of that, at least as the time of this recording. So yeah, I guess just to reiterate again, guys, if any of you are interested, I do have a comic book series, Primal Warrior Draco Azul, available on Amazon Kindle and Comixology. And so if you're interested in giant robots, giant monsters, if you are interested in anything akin to, say, Gundam, Ultraman, even Gurren Lagann, Evangelion, Gridman, then yeah, I would highly implore you guys to please check out Primal Warrior Draco Azul, as well as the other various projects I have going on, such as the anthology, the upcoming novel, and some other projects that you may learn in the near future if you follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or YouTube. And let's see, Doomzilla said, brought up Gundam Barbatos as a recent example. Yes, that is true. Barbatos was every one of the Gundams in Iron-Blooded Orphans were named after demons of, I forgot what it was called. Was it Norse mythology or like something else? It was a particular mythology where Gundam Barbatos, where all the Gundams were named after demons, and certain other, and what you call mobile armors, were named after angels. And Goji said I would definitely recommend it to you for fully endorse if I ever get to come on. All right, thank you. And Branton says tell Raph to read his messages. I would, but he is not here at the moment, unfortunately.
I'm
Brayden.
actually back, and Brayton, if you're trying to keep something secret, don't scream about it in the chat section. I'm just gonna, and I'm not joking. That's a little dumb. So, but I did want to. Did you, Laura earlier mention what was the deal with all the Lovecraft name checks in
Yes.
Ultraman? Okay. Yeah. That's a good
You
thing.
do that. You explain it.
Yeah, so when Two Briar Productions brought back Ultraman proper in 1996, starting with Ultraman Trigger, followed by Ultraman Dyna, Ultraman Gaia, there was a lot...
You mean Tiga?
Yeah, Tiga, followed by Dyna, and then followed by Gaia, the Heisei trilogy, as it's lovingly told by fans.
The 90s Ultraman.
Yeah, the 90s Ultraman. There was a lot of Lovecraft, big Lovecraft fans working in the writing department. And they would throw in a lot of Lovecraftian references, whether it just be reused names or actual alluding to the Cthulhu mythos itself, directly and indirectly, in the various stories. Infamously, with Ultraman Tiga, it turned out the big villain of the series itself was, how do I say his name correctly? Gantazola?
Depends on if you're talking about the Tiga, the Ultraman character, or the actual... monster, or the actual monster from Lovecraft mythology.
Yeah, but we'll go with the whatever Gatazola or
Gatanazoa.
Gatanazola. Yeah, that was
Zoa.
Yeah, darn it. Now
Gatanazoa.
Gatanazola. So
Zoa.
That's the best I can do, Andres. Okay.
Zoa.
Gatanazola was a direct...
Zoa! There's no L at the end.
Yeah, it was a direct reference to the Lovecraftian monster, and itself sort of inspired by the creature. And in Ultraman, there was very little Lovecraft references in Ultraman Dyna, but in Ultraman Gaia, they went back full and hard with it, with having the main villain of that series be this unseen supernatural threat from another dimension, the bringer of fundamental destruction. And all the various monsters he sent were mostly deliberate agents who had their own Lovecraftian abilities to them. And they even had one monster in Ultraman Gaia named after Buckrug, the water lizard, for anybody who gets that kind of recurring gag in some of my own works. So yeah, there's a lot of Lovecraft callbacks in Ultraman Tiga and the other 90s Ultraman trilogy. You do see a little bit of it in later series, but not as much as these three particular shows. And I know that the guy behind Ultraman Gaia, he was such a huge Lovecraft fan that he was also one of the head writers of Digimon Tamers, and we all know how that series ended in its third act, with the D-Reapers basically being an artificially created Lovecraft threat. So yeah, that's the best way I can describe it at this moment. So, and Warrior King, he asks of Andres, do you think we'll learn more about the Ultras in Trigger's world setting, like if they were good guys who cast the Giants of Darkness out of their evil ways, or if the Ultras are less benign in Trigger's universe in general, or if they'll just be conveniently absent or dead or out of the picture either way?
I don't know. I mean, given how little we know about this sort of pseudo-Atlantean civilization, how little we know about the pseudo-Atlantean civilization, as well as the Giants of Darkness, I have a feeling that we're not going to see anything about the Giants of Light other than Ultraman Trigger himself. So I'm going to say no on that, unfortunately. It seems like this is not the kind of show to go that deep in its world building.
Yeah, especially, yeah, I would have to fully agree, especially since they cut the episode, so yeah. All right, with that said, I think we're pretty much done.
I mean, it took us 10 episodes for us to even find out what the hell how it's even connected to Tiga.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Brayton, this is one of the problems about you keep saying it's a secret to check your live stream. I just sent you the link to the live stream, so if you want to, he wants to come on the show itself and share a stupid idea. So,
now, Raph, are you sure that he wants to come on, or are you forcing him onto the show when he just wants to talk to you in private?
Here's his exact words. So, Bring me in for the very last minutes of this stream. I have a wacky idea. It will be funny. His exact words, not mine.
I don't believe you, Ralph.
Oh, God. I'm not going to do a share screen to his chat section. So. Okay, so, Andres, what's your next world-famous bubble bath program coming up? Is it going to coincide with mine?
Most likely purely out of spite. I'll make sure everyone has their shower at the same time as yours.
Oh no.
So no one can be able to enjoy your shower time.
Okay. So okay, Brayton, you better come aboard. I don't care if it's secret or not, okay? We don't know what you're going to do, so it's still going to be a surprise either way. So, anyways, I guess we're here for a couple more minutes. So, all right. Okay, what else? Oh, yeah, Laura Ficken says, reply to the Lovecraft thing. Cool. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I don't explain Ultraman lore as well as Andres here, but Andres does have the golden voice, and I just have the copper grail. So, and Doomzilla says, we might know in the future, but I do agree about what Andres says. Yeah, I agree with you too, Andres, because, like, I'm enjoying
Of course, everyone should agree with me.
Yeah! Always agree with Andres, or you'll be...
I'm special!
Yeah.
Damn it!
When he turns 18, he'll become Yazari.
And Laura says it was a very salty shower. With Raph, everything is salty.
By the way, Laura, contrary to popular belief, I bathe a lot more than just once a year. That's why they used to call me the mermaid boy down at Coney Island. Because I was in the freak show. They kept me in a tank, and I was like, hey, I'm the mermaid. Check me out. So, uh-oh. Okay.
I can see why people were mistaking you for goddamn manatee, Raph.
Oh, wait, there's a sound at the door. Hello? You want to answer that, Mr. Andres? You go first.
All right. I'll go to the imaginary door all the way here from Japan. I'll answer your door all the way from Japan.
Mr. Raftres Perezma?
Yes?
Dargon Valentine Graham.
Valentine Grand? Wait a minute, they don't have those anymore.
Science Patrol officer stopping by.
Oh, a Science Patrol. Okay, wait a minute. Are you sure you're a Science Patrol? Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh no! Help me, Raph!
I don't want to help you because I'm terrified!
Fuck you, Raph!
Oh my god! Oh no! And this is how we're gonna end tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen. Andres has just been brutally murdered. I'm so sorry. Oh god. Andres! Know that you were always loved despite all the hatred I sent your way. I know I was giving you mixed messages, but I didn't know it. Hello? Oh wait, that might be Andres at the door. Hello?
Mr. ENSHOHMA'S?
Yes. Is Andres okay? Mr. Suspicious Voice.
Why don't you come out and check out here in the driveway?
Okay, I'm coming.